Good evening, everyone. This is Mr. Taylor with Young Engineers of Today. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday and enjoying all the snow we received over the past day. All right. If you can see my screen, please raise your hand. Okay. Anna, Josh, Eric, Elizabeth, George, Catherine, Maya, Nick, Sam. All right, great. Let's put our hands down. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. All right. Wow, everyone, very good, very good. All right, thank you. All right, last class we started looking at Tinkercad, and we created your account. We did some exploring of the Tinkercad community, as well as did a little bit of experimenting. And then we went into object manipulation. And just a quick review, we learned that there's different ways you can change the shapes of each object by moving the arrows. The curved arrows rotate objects. The upper white dots move objects taller and shorter. The lower dots extend or compress. The red arrow raises up and down. And we realized that these dots can move and manipulate our different shapes in different formats. And we learned that we have a work plane that is a 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter square. And we can also bring up dimensions and change the dimensions in millimeters. Okay. As well as make them larger, make them smaller. And we realized that we can actually have them floating and have them a certain distance above the work plane as well. Furthermore, we learned that we can rotate. You can rotate shapes 360 degrees using the rotation controls within measurement. And then we did our first lesson. Yes, Catherine.
I just wanted to say something about the lessons.
Yes.
There is a lesson about making a dice, and then the title was "Die on the Work Plane." So it was like you die on the work plane.
Yeah, don't work too much. It might kill you. All right. Thank you, Catherine. Very
You're welcome.
all right. Now, our first lesson, as we learned, is on moving, and they range from very basic. They'll take a few minutes to a few seconds to a longer course of time. And tonight, I'm going to give you time to work on different lessons and to build your skills and answer your questions and help you out. Now, last class we went through this, and this is just moving. Within the lessons, they help you move and add and show you what you need to do and what shapes. Okay. And then when you do it, you get the Tinkercad version of what I like to call the celebratory high five. Um, it gives you celebration of stars when you do things correctly and basically gives you high five. All right. And George just made ice cream. FYI. All right. Now, we're going to look at moving objects now. Objects can be moved by either clicking and dragging or using the keyboard arrow keys. I want you to notice how changes in distance are displayed helpfully. You can move them and you actually will get the distance of where things are moving, okay? Which is helpful and give you an idea of where it's going to end up. So it gives you a visual proximity. All right. Our webinars are always an hour. Now, objects can be moved by either clicking and dragging or using the keyboard arrow keys. And I want you to notice how the changes display are helpful. Objects also snap to the grid to maintain accuracy in moving things without being too sensitive to mouse inputs. Okay? All right. Moving the camera. This was the second lesson. Just going to give you some overview. Two primary ways to control the camera. You can use the navigation located in the top left corner of the screen, or you can hold down the right mouse button and move in the desired direction. So if you hold down your right mouse, you can actually take control of your screen and move it around to your liking. Okay, now, all right. I know last class people were asking how to make holes, or one of the webinars. And the way you can do this is by taking another shape that you would want, and you can put it over an area and have it physically like look like it's sitting through it. And eventually you can create a hole with that. So when you create a hole with that shape under the inspector, a hole will take the place of that item. Now, the inspector is pretty cool. This is basically allows you to either group things or create holes and change the color of a whole object when you put shapes together. Because unlike SketchUp, where SketchUp you can keep adding lines and you can make your shapes and you can pull them or push them together, Tinkercad, what it does, it gives you pre-made shapes. You manipulate those shapes and you can put them over top of each other. Then you group them into one giant shape of your liking, which is just a different type of CAD software. Now, before finishing a wrench, we take a quick look in the inspector window. All right. Now, an example of this, when an object is selected, the inspector allows you to either use the color as I stated or make a hole to remove the area of the shape. The key to building more complex shape is learning how to combine solid and whole shapes together. So as you start putting pieces together, it's learning when to group them and when to put holes in. That is the art of using Tinkercad, is knowing those two things. Okay? Now, this is the step-by-step move of this, and you will be able to do this tonight. It's lesson 3 under basics, and you'll have time to work on this. And you can see how a hexagonal prism put in the circle helps make a wrench head, and both wrench and hole shifted via shift click. So you can highlight the whole thing, and when you do this, you can hold the shift button, click and drag, and it will highlight the whole object. All right, and this is grouping. We talked about grouping in SketchUp. It's just a different version. Yes, Catherine.
I already did lesson 3.
All right, then you'll just have to work ahead this evening, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Catherine, because the joy of it is there are like 30 lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Furthermore, and then when you group button is pressed and the wrench is fixed, and you can see how where the dark area is the overlap now is clear work plane. All right. What I'm gonna give you guys time to do is I want you to go ahead and work on the basic lessons. I'll give you about 15 minutes to work on just getting these done. And then after that, we're going to come back and we're going to look at how to use the design tab, the edit and help tabs, so you can move forward with that. If you understand my instructions on what I want you to do now is work on the basic lessons, raise your hand. Okay, great. And once you're done, just type in the message area that you're done, or you can, if you have a question, raise your hand and I'll help you out. All right. Now, is it Joshua? Let me see where you're at. I'm going to help you sign up for Tinkercad. Okay. So I'm going to unmute you. Josh?
I have signed up.
Okay, you already have a Tinkercad account.
Yeah, I got one in my last 7th and 8th grade webinar that I was accidentally going to.
Okay, no problem. So, do you have any questions? Do you want me to go over everything that we did last class? Or are you pretty much good to go and you're going to start working on the basics?
I'm pretty much good to go. From what I know, you guys have done SketchUp and we're doing Tinkercad now. I've done both of those.
Okay, good. So, yeah, we're just going to be working on the lessons tonight and just
I
to give
just
you a
have
quick.
one question that isn't related to either of them.
Yes.
Are we doing like basically the same general stuff as the seventh and eighth graders? Because as I heard what they're doing like really cool stuff like hacking Minecraft.
There's different activities that we do. In fifth and sixth grade, what we're doing is we're doing 3D modeling, and we went over 3D printers. And we're going to take a look at a 3D printer at the lab on Thursday. Then next we're going to be doing architecture, and then you'll build an architecture kit that you'll get to keep. We're going to be doing Raspberry Pi and doing some hacking and programming on the Raspberry Pi. And then we're going to be doing a little bit of gaming and rockets this semester.
Awesome.
All right. So
basically the same general stuff.
Yes, because what we try to do within Young Engineers is we try to build. So if you keep with it, you'll learn newer things, but have a foundation to build on top of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Kind of like at the What Lab on last Thursday that you were at. The other guys were working on a electronics project and soldering. We were working on electronics parts and soldering. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where you already get the skill sets, where you already know the basic soldering, so then they don't have to go into that. Where we practice and did a few things, you go into 7 and 8, you already know what you're doing. You can just rock and roll, and we just build up. Just like math, you understand? You learn your addition before you do multiplication.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions, I'm here to help you out, Josh. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right, John, how can I help you?
Are the sixth graders who are like hacking Minecraft, are they using iFunbox?
Fifth and sixth grade is what I teach.
No, like the seventh and eighth graders, are they hacking Minecraft with iFunbox?
No, they're doing, I believe, on Raspberry Pi, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, my friend hacks Minecraft on iFunbox.
But the way you hack it on the Raspberry Pi, I don't know about the Fun Box. You actually do it with code. You do it with
Yeah, you do it like that too, or you can do it with like desktop files.
Yeah, we do it when you're in 7th and 8th grade. You'll learn to do it with Python.
All right.
Python's a coding language, and there's an open source. There's a specific version of Minecraft that is used on the Raspberry Pi. It's called Minecraft Pi, and you can actually build different blocks. They'll do building blocks. They'll build a rainbow. They'll cause a jump file, so they'll make you cause a program where you can jump all over the world. There's a couple other things.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, John. Do you understand what you're doing with the basic lessons right now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, John, for adding to our conversation. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And right now, you're working on lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right now, all the way up to the dice. Catherine, that's great. I know Catherine, you worked ahead already, so go ahead and just work on some other ones. Okay, Catherine? Maya, just keep going. You're welcome. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Maya. Eric, to answer your question, we're going to go over how you can upload things into Minecraft, um, and how you can, all the services after we're done with these lessons here, how to do printing of objects. I don't know if that answers your question. I'm going to unmute you, Eric, so we can talk. Yes, Eric. Eric, you're unmuted.
Yeah, like, could you just build something in Minecraft and then print it on the 3D printer somehow? Is there any ways to do that?
Not that I know of, because the files are different. You can build things in Tinkercad that could look like objects that you would build in Minecraft, and you could print them out of this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Because Minecraft's just a lot easier to use, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know if you can. What's the word I'm looking for? Extract what you made in Minecraft. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, but I love the way you're thinking. That's really cool. Man, I'm gonna probably Google that tonight, and I'll see if I can find anything. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thanks, Eric. How's SketchUp coming for you?
Not bad.
Not SketchUp. Excuse me. Tinkercad. Which one of these are you on?
Tinkercad actually didn't think it was too bad.
Are you on creating holes, keyring?
Yeah, like I finished the creating hole lessons. Like, but the thing is, I still don't get how do you like get rid of the clear looking thing again?
Okay. Once that part is gone, where it's cut out. So like if you would go to print it, it would not print that. Does that make sense?
Okay, so but you can't make that like weird like ghost kind of frame thing go away.
Not technically. When you would like look at just it outside as an image, you won't see it. But when you are actually, as they call it, tinkering, it's going to show up because it shows that you actually did something there.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you are on scale, copy, and paste right now.
Hmm? No, I'm on the dice one.
Okay, so you're almost done. Okay, great. All right. Thanks, Eric.
Oh no, actually I do have more than that to do, I think.
Okay, no problem. All right. Thanks, Eric. Anna. Anna, you're unmuted, but you have yourself muted. Anna, you have to unmute yourself if you want me to call on you. Anna, you're still muted, so I can't call on you if you have yourself muted. All right. Well, Anna, just type what you need to type if your computer's having an issue with the software. Please just type in your question or whatever you have, and I'll answer it that way. Because I can't override your mute. So just type your question in, and I'll answer it the best I can by the way you type it. Okay? Let's work together on this. If you need more time, raise your hand. Anna does, Maya, Keller. All right. If you, for the lessons you're working on, Eric, if you need more time to finish these up right now. Okay, Maya, Keller, Anna. All right. If you're done now, raise your hand. Okay. So Nick's done, Catherine's done, John's done, Jean-Marc's done, George is done, and Joshua's done. Okay. Let's take a few more minutes, and remember, we can always come back to these and work on these on our own. So I'm going to show you a few more things, and then we're going to work on some more stuff. Okay, Elizabeth has one left. All right, Eric, it's all right. Just keep working at it, Eric. It's a little bit trickier, but just try your best. All right, take about another minute or two, and then we're going to go over some new information. Okay? Now, to those who are done, just work on some of the other projects, work ahead. And what I'd challenge you all to do is if you can end up doing all the lessons, um, you'll have a very strong skill set to make just about anything you want. And it teaches you a lot. Even if you struggle on some of them, it's going to make you better at it. Okay? All right, everyone, bring it back together. Would anyone like to share something they thought was cool or some skill set that they just developed from doing these lessons? Or any questions or concerns? Just raise your hand or type it in. Hey, no one? All right, that's fine too. Okay, let's go look forward here. Now, when you're in a lesson, or not a lesson, excuse me, when you're building something, there are 3 tabs that you can use. They're under Design, Edit, and Help. Design, you have new, you can start something new, you can duplicate, you can save, you can look at properties. You can download for 3D printing. So you can download the file. You can download for Minecraft. You can order a 3D print, meaning that there are companies out there. So if you don't have a 3D printer or know someone that has one, you can actually, they'll charge you a fee, and they give a list of companies that will print things for you, okay? And they charge you based off the size and how complicated the design is as well. And then you can upload to Thingiverse. Thingiverse, you can make an account. It's free. It's a community that you can download, upload files, very similar to SketchUp, but or you can put it in Minecraft. Okay. Now, under that design tab, if you look at you want to export to a 3D printer, you can choose the size of your design in the block world. So for Minecraft, you can change it by millimeters. 1 millimeter equals 1 Minecraft block. So you can change the shape of the My block, and then you can export it and load it into Minecraft. Download for 3D printing, which is my top window. You can download this model as an STL, an X3D, or BRML987 file if you want to use external services or 3D printers, which is great. STL files, you can make one in here, and you can download it onto a printer. So, which is very cool, very useful, and quick and easy. All right. Nice. Josh stated he was able to put eyes on a downloadable Batman, which was very cool. Now, you can also download it for laser cutting. So, if you know anyone has a laser cutter, like we talked about CNC machines, not the same, but on a similar world where it's subtractive, it can cut it out of a block or a piece. Now, ordering 3D prints, you can. These are the 4 companies that they deal with, and you can order from one of them. Okay, so you click which one you would want to order from, and you're gonna have to pay a fee for that. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. All right. Now, under Edit, you have a copy and paste feature. You can duplicate items. You can also delete figures. So, which is all helpful tools. Then under Help, you can watch Tinkercad tutorial videos. There's a few more helpful tutorial videos, kind of like the one where we watched on Monday. And there's a little bit more information about Tinkercad, but pretty much all that we've gone over. Now, a shortcut where you can get a lot of those same features for downloading is under your dashboard, where the projects you've been working on, you have the option of downloads, which for 3D printing or Minecraft, and I type Minecraft, not Minecraft. I can't believe I call myself a nerd. How could I mess that up? And then you can do the ordering, but these are all shortcuts. And then if you click on Tinker this in blue, this allows you to go and rework on projects, okay? Yes, Catherine. Catherine.
I was wondering if you were gonna 3D print that, how would you 3D print those little specks floating in the air?
That would probably be difficult. To be honest with you, to have those little pieces like that. A lot of times it would try to print it, but what would happen is with a 3D printer, it will print like a loose webbing that will snap apart, and actually it wouldn't be attached to those. You would just end up with these little pieces. But when it printed the whole piece out, that's the reason it probably print them as individual pieces. That's the reason you like to group things. Grouping allows it to be printed together. But that's a great question, Catherine.
Okay.
All right, thank you for asking that. Most likely, I wouldn't print that. I'd just print the shield.
Yeah. Or you could just print the gun without those stars.
Exactly. They're supposed to be like bullet shells, but I'm going to assume the guy made this just to look cool and not for printing purposes. Because the other thing with the printer, you have to realize like you can put colors on here. That's cool, but this goes for everyone. Whatever you print it out of is what the color is going to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for example, like the red, white, and blue, if I wanted those to be all separate colors, I would have to print those as different pieces and then attach them after.
Or you could paint them.
Yes, or you could paint them. That's another way. But a lot of people get caught up in CAD, like painting stuff and changing the colors. But in all reality, when I print it, like my printer at my work is I only have white a ASB plastic. So in all reality, anything this is going to be printed out is in what color?
White.
White, exactly. So that's a great point you bring up, and I thank you for bringing that up, Catherine. But yeah, you can print it or you can take a Sharpie to it. But that's basically what you can do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions about stuff like that right now? Please raise your hand. Jean Marc brings up a great point, so I'm gonna and these are more expensive, so I'm gonna let Jean Marc bring it up. And Jean Marc, can you explain your comment?
Huh?
Can you explain your comment to the class? You made a
Oh
great.
yeah. There you can get, if you want it in multiple colors, you can get a dual extractor 3D printer that
Yes.
has like two extractors, so you can print different colors.
Yeah, they're really cool, but the thing about them is they cost more. You can print the most I've seen, like for personal use, is two heads. Have you seen any more than that, Jean Marc?
No, I've just heard of them.
Yeah, I mean they're awesome, but the most I've seen is two. They do cost more. You can print parts together, but like I was telling Catherine, the best thing to do with the shield here, I could print each part out in a different color, which then I would extract all those pieces and actually make them separate pieces, and then print them out and glue them together, or do what Catherine said, paint them, or as you stated, get a multi extruder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean Marc. Appreciate your participation. Thank you for adding that great point. All right. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is these are two more advanced lessons. These are under accessories. I want you to work on these. These are Minecraft party glasses and then cufflinks. You're going to go through these two lessons now, and I'm going to give you about, let's say, 15 minutes to do these. Okay? And to those who are ahead, you can work ahead even more. To those who want to work a little bit behind, you can work behind and do this later on your own. Thumbs up to you either way. Does anyone, if you understand my instructions, raise your hands. All right. It seems like everyone understands. If you have any questions, raise your hand. Oh, Catherine asked, Maya, you can do them whatever order you want. I'm perfectly fine. Typically, sometimes they give you a few different skill sets to help you, but do it. You can do either one. Catherine, dual extruder, maybe $2,000, $3,000. But all right. Thank you, Maya, for your question. All right. If you have any, raise your hand if you have any concerns. I'll help you out. you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. I'm here to help. Anna, you're still muted, which is weird.
That better?
Yes, Anna. You're unmuted.
How do you make your your box get smaller?
You have to use the little arrows
Well,
around. So you let me show you. You see how you have to use the different dots to change, move them in and out, and you can change the sizes of them.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
You are welcome. I'm glad that you found the mute. Take about five more minutes. Finish up. Seth, your hand went up, but you have yourself muted. You'll need to unmute yourself. Okay, Seth? Remember, if you have any questions, raise your hand and I'll help you out. Give me a hand raise if you need more time. If you need more time, raise your hand. Okay, Alex, Anna, Jean-Marc, and Maya. Okay. To everyone else who's finished, just work ahead a little bit on the next activities. You guys are doing a great job. If you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll help you out. Take about 2 more minutes. And the thing is, all these lessons, you can come and go. You can work on them. You can do those in your spare time, which really helps with your progression. All right, everyone, bring it back together. And would anyone like to share something they learned, what they think, give feedback? Just raise your hand. Yes, Catherine.
I thought it was really helpful to have that copy and paste because then we'd have to put the square by square by square and it'd be really hard.
Yeah, so copy and paste is really a useful tool.
Yes.
Good, good. Anything else you'd like to add or share, Catherine?
No.
All right, I appreciate your participation. Thank you, Catherine. Anyone else? All right. How many people like knowing shortcut buttons on a keyboard when they're using a software? See, Anna does. Can I get another hand raise if you like shortcut buttons? Jean-Marc, John, Maya. Okay. Wow, Sam. A lot of people do. All right, that's great. So what we're going to do is watch a short video clip on how to do this, okay? It's some shortcuts. Now, I think we're all aware, to those who have a Mac, when you hear the word control, sometimes that means using control, sometimes it means using the command button. But right now, we're just going to watch this video clip and show us a bunch of shortcuts that'll help you do things, okay? Pull this video clip up. All right. Does anyone have any questions, concerns about Tinkercad? Um, Raise your hand if you think those shortcuts will be helpful while you're doing activities and building things. Okay, John, Mark, Anna, Eric, George, Catherine, great. All right. Now, let me get back to where we were. All right. Now, the upcoming lessons that you can work on your own with Tinkercad, you have luggage tags, chess pawns, saw, sharpen wrench, money clips, die from scratch, rulers. You have all these different things. They teach you different skill sets as you're starting to realize some are harder. Like I'll be honest with some of these are harder than others. For example, the pawn chess piece. It's a tricky one. Um, and then you have a bunch of different jewelry and rings. Um, some of the stuff's harder than others, but they'll help you learn. And then, as always, you can always go look at other projects. And then you also have miniatures, making a boat. That one's pretty cool, as well as the model train body. But I would recommend doing the boat over the model train body. Yes, Jean Marc got a question. Yes, Jean Marc. You're unmuted.
Can people make their own lessons?
I think you can make one, and then I'm not sure if you can make it for Tinkercad. That's something you could look into, but you could definitely make one. Like I found YouTube videos where people made how-tos on YouTube, so you could do that.
Oh, because I feel like I've seen one.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some on YouTube just doing research to develop this lesson, where there's a lot of people that they literally break it down step by step. They're like 45-minute YouTube videos.
Whoa.
I mean, obviously, if you take it for granted, if you wanted to be that detail oriented, it could take that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments, John Mark?
No.
Okay. You like Tinkercad?
Yes.
Good. Very good. You said you've already been using this. Did you learn anything in the last two classes that you didn't know already?
Yes, the like moving without the little arrow things.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great. Very good. Thank you, Sean Mark. All right. You also have lessons on figures. We saw the bunny one where it helps you put things together. You could actually go ahead and do that one if you wanted to. You have one on this octopus and then the robot, which is pretty cool. And I believe the M stands for MakerBot, probably, or Maker oriented. And then one of the last ones you have is home decor, cupboard knob, 60-minute clock. And the thing is, what you can realize, you can start making stuff that is actually useful, that can help you with stuff around the house. You can design your own holiday gifts or birthday gifts on here and print them out and give them to people. It'd be very unique and special. And we just watched that video. Does anyone have any other questions about Tinkercad? Okay, just as a reminder, if you are in Charlotte, we have a lab tomorrow. Last Saturday, you had a lab with Mr. Dubik and Raleigh at the Science House. You'll have yours the following Saturday. But tomorrow night, we'll be doing things in Charlotte. Yes, Eric. Not Eric, excuse me. Josh.
If you didn't see my question below, do you think you can upload stuff to Tinkercad from Blender?
Upload it. I have not seen an area where you can upload onto Tinkercad though. I've only seen download.
Maybe you could upload stuff from Tinkercad to Blender. Blender's fun.
Yeah. You could probably take it from Tinkercad to Blender maybe, or take it from Tinkercad to Thingiverse, and from Thingiverse to Blender.
What the heck is a Thingiverse?
Thingiverse is All right. This is part of the maker community. Thingiverse is a 3D printer or 3D modeling community where you can join and you can save files, upload files, design files, download files, and it's completely free. And they're STL formats. But it's for MakerBot, which is a 3D printer. So it's part of the maker community. Okay?
Okay.
You can look into that. That's completely free, and you can like download. I was printing stuff off of Thingiverse last week. So
Okay.
okay, thanks, Eric. I mean Josh. Sorry. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Raise your hand. If not, it's 2 minutes after 6. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday night. Have a great weekend, everyone. And to those in Charlotte, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you as always for being part of Young Engineers of Today.